Hey everyone, welcome to the April Q&A. Let's get right into it. So the first question comes to us from Keith. Differentiating yourself, how do you find your niche? How do you differentiate yourself and not get stuck in a rut creatively? Hey Keith, let me tell you about it, man. Every year I struggle with this, just getting bored, right? When it hits wedding season, here I am in St. Louis and it's like, we want to go to the St. Louis Arch. We want to go to Forest Park. Oh my God, there's so many more places to shoot than just Forest Park and the St. Louis Arch. And I'm sure you have that in your own city. But the reality is this is what the client wants. And so we can't ignore what they want, nor should we. But by the same token, how do we find that creative streak in us? So I'm going to share with you what I've learned to do over the years. And I've really gotten better at it over the last 2 years. Here's what I do. Step number one. Every time I go into a wedding, I set up a challenge for me and my second shooter. So for example, we might go into a wedding and I go, okay, today we're going to shoot the wedding like we normally do. But today it's all about reflections. And so the whole day we're looking for reflections, man, and it keeps you excited. It keeps you and your team engaged and sharp, right? You're on point because you're looking for something versus just going like, okay, family picture at the altar, click. So it really keeps you going. Or reflections, like I said, what else? Geometry, right? Let's look for shapes. Today is all about triangles. Today is all about circles. Today is all about repetitive patterns or repeating patterns. So those are the kind of things we're looking for. But the other thing I do that has worked amazingly well is every year I set aside, I want to have 5 to 10 personal shoots for me every single year. That I just started doing over the last 2 years, and it has kept me so excited, so engaged, and my wedding photography is getting better because now I'm practicing and doing things that are about me, not just my brides. But it's this crazy thing because now my brides are asking us for those pictures that we're doing that are just kind of practice. So hopefully that makes sense. Next question comes to us from Wendy. How do you reinvent your style after being in business for 35 years? Wendy, that is a great question. And kind of like I just answered for Keith, you have got to get out there and set yourself up for success. And the way you do that is 5 to 10 personal projects every year. Now, make no mistake, when I say 5 to 10 personal projects, that doesn't mean these projects have to cost, $1,000 for every shoot you're going to do. Personal projects can be as simple as, okay, I want to get a picture of a bride in front of this building. That's a personal project. So get somebody you know, get them an address, get them all done up, borrow a dress from somebody, see if a wedding salon will give you that dress, and then go out there and do it. Your cost could easily be less than $200, less than $100. But the images you're going to produce, you're going to use on social media, you're going to use in your marketing and advertising, you're going to use in a host of areas. So is it worth paying $200 to get those kinds of images? I say yes. In fact, internally, I've set a budget of $1,000 to $2,000 per. When you start looking at print competition, marketing material, and this host of other areas that we're using these images for, it's coming back tenfold. Now, when you're starting out, you don't have that kind of budget. Neither did I. And so when I started out on a low budget, friends, family, favors, beg, borrow, steal, whatever you have to do to get those shoots going. But you understand what I'm saying. Get creative. 5 to 10 shoots for yourself every year. And Wendy, we both know that your shooting style is different than your husband, John. So you guys got to figure out, maybe you do your own shoots, he does his own shoots, and I'll be the judge, and we'll see who's better. I'm just kidding. Next question comes to us from Stephanie. How to push past a block. I'm having major blondness. I've done some personal shoots, but that really didn't help. Inquiries are slow on the wedding side and portrait side are completely non-existent. I've run a few Facebook ads. I'm really sucking lately. So Stephanie, here's the thing. I see two different issues. One is you've got a marketing plan that's just in crisis. Nothing seems to be working. And then maybe that is why you're feeling blah about the business because, it's easy to feel like shit when no money's coming in, but money solves all problems. So anybody who's ever been out there and says money's not everything, those are people who don't have money. So what you want to do is figure out how do we get that phone ringing? That would be the problem I would attack. And I'm pretty sure you're coming to Shutterfest. So we got a great marketing class that's going to be there. That's where I'd want to see you sitting in. How do I get marketing to make that phone ring? And more importantly, you're saying you ran some Facebook ads, but why are they not working? That's probably the biggest question we need to answer is why is it not working? There's clearly a reason it's not working for you. And that's where we want to spend our time versus spinning our wheels trying to solve all these other problems. I think when you get to the root of it, that'll help you. So hopefully that makes sense. Next question comes to us from Craig Lemire. What up, baby? Outsourcing. I need someone who can edit all the ways I do so I can free up some time or someone figure out how to make a day of 36 hours. Yes, Craig, I need to figure out that day too. You and I will be rich if we can figure out how to get 36 hours out of a day. That being said, Craig, I'm going to share with you exactly how we grew our business. There was a point in time where I edited every single image because, one, I'm an artist and no one can edit my work the way I could. And it sounds great in theory, but when you start growing your business, it becomes a problem. And there was a month where I had 10 weddings in 1 month. And because of that month, I had 10 weddings in 1 month. There was no way for me to edit. A typical wedding was like 12 to 14 hours. So there was no logical way. Do the math on it, right? I had 10 weddings. I did not have 2 full weeks to edit those images and get them out the door in a reasonable time. That was my first foray into outsourcing. And God's honest truth, I've never looked back. So we have a company called evolveedits.com that handles this. And if they can do my editing, they can definitely do your editing. And I'm telling you, once you do it, the pain is up front. The pain is in getting all that stuff done or getting dialed in. But once you invest that time dialing in, everything goes smoothly from there. So give yourself about 3 to 5 job window of when you're going to get somebody ramped up on this stuff. And once that happens, dude, you're going to be thanking me that I made you do this. And that goes for everybody out there too. We are photographers. We make our money doing photography. You are not Photoshop editors. If you want to be a Photoshop editor, come work for me at Evolve and we can have you there. But if you want to be a photographer, you've got to let somebody else handle that outsourcing. Next question comes to us from Jessica. How do I maintain the integrity of our packages when people want to start upgrading albums or taking out the engagement shoot? Jessica, there's no problem here. If you follow our pricing model, right, you have package A, $1,000, value, $2,000. If you don't have that value number next to it, this is going to bite you because people are going to go, well, take this out and now how much? What you can say now is you can go, well, okay, as you can see, if you take out the engagement shoot, that's not going to change the price of the package because the package is already discounted by 50% and we can't discount a discount. And so that key is very, very important in understanding what could go right and wrong. So if you don't have that value next to it, that's what's going to get you in trouble. Next one comes to us from Rodrigo. How do you manage your expenses? Do you recommend hiring an accountant? What if you're at a point where you can't afford an accountant? Rodrigo, dude, this is a great question. Let me tell you a true story and tell everybody out there a true story. I fell 3 years behind on my taxes because I couldn't afford an accountant. And so you guys have got to get smart about this and understanding that you can't afford not to have an accountant. That's the key to understand in doing all this. So you have to have an accountant, even if it's just a bookkeeper doing this for you. And it's not as expensive as you think. You can get a bookkeeper, and the bookkeeper is like $10 an hour, $12 an hour to enter all your expenses in. And then you send that QuickBook file, right? Do it in QuickBooks. And you send that to your accountant and you go from there. And it will save you a lot of time, money, and heartache. Here's the thing. How much money did you make on the Smith wedding? How much profit did you make? You don't know. You have to be able to answer that question to continue to grow your business. All right, next question comes to us from Michelle. At the moment where I'm creating a price menu for clients to view during their viewing sessions, something not overwhelming and with class. How many products to add, what not to add. So here's the deal. You have to have your packages on that folio sheet, right? You want to put that in your client's hand. So you should have minimum of 3 packages there. Then on the right-hand side of that same menu, all your a la carte prices. Now, to the point of what to add, what not to add, look, the labs offer a plethora of products. And just because the labs offer it doesn't mean you should carry it and offer it to your clients. So here's what I tend to offer. Prints, right? All mounted on styrene, metal, acrylic, canvas, albums. Those are your core products. If the client comes to you and is like, I want abracadabra. Hey, I can get that for you. Let me look into it. But what you don't want to do is put everything on your menu and allow that to, it's just going to overwhelm the client in the wrong way. And so you want to offer products that are good margin, right? And then products that are appealing to your client base. So for me right now, clients are going nuts for metals and acrylic. Prints and canvas are always going to be a staple product. But what's different? What's going to be different about you and your studio and your offering? That's the part you got to answer for your clients. It's going to help you charge more money at the end of the day as well. Next question comes to us from Caitlin. Routine. When you're facing a large volume of work, you risk getting into a dangerous routine. How do you overcome it? Yeah, Caitlin, let me tell you something about my world. 90% of it is routine. In fact, it's that routine that allows me to grow the way I'm growing. if you don't find a routine, you run the risk of just being a scatterbrained artist and you got ADD about everything you do. And so you've got to be careful with that. You need that routine. Routine is what's going to save you when you're slammed, right? Process. Internally, we call it SOP, standard operating procedure. So without that standard operating procedure in place, you are going to fail. Then when you get so busy and you have to hire somebody, what's the process? They don't know what the process is. They don't know what the routine is. And so I understand what you're asking, which is we're artists. We don't want to be cut in, put into a mold. We want to be able to go out and create and do all sorts of cool things. So you can do that, but just remember, as a business owner, first and foremost, 90% of your time is in the business. And the better or the stronger your routine, the more efficient you're going to be. And that's the key. Then go out and create. So find a way to let your routine make you more efficient so you can spend more time creating and less time in the minutia, if you will, of the business. Next question comes to us from Nathan. Where do you find good business partners? I just turned 18. By the way, congratulations, dude, for running a business and being 18. And I'm going at this full force. I'm confident in my photography skills, marketing knowledge, and pretty much every aspect on the business side, but I'm having difficulty following through and making it the ideal experience. I really don't want to fail for all the wrong reasons. Nathan, you're spot on, man. Here's what we do in our business. When I'm hiring somebody, this will be the best piece of advice I can give you because I got this when I was in corporate. This is how Microsoft forced us to think about hiring people. When I'm hiring somebody, the first question I ask is, can I be around this person 8 hours a day? It's a big question. Can I be with them 8 hours a day? Next question. If they were my boss, would I be able to work with them? If you hire somebody that you wouldn't be willing to take orders from, you're going to have a hard time in your business with that person. So those are the first two things I would look for. Everything else can be trained. You can train someone how to do marketing. You can train someone how to be a photographer. You can train someone how to open up a bottle of champagne. But if they don't share the same core values as you, they're going to fail and you're going to fail. All right, last question comes to us from Jillian. What is the best way to keep track of all of our customers and clients? Jillian, I'm going to tell you about a program right now all of you should check out. It's called 17hats.com, 17hats.com. We used to use a program before, and they just have not kept updating the system, and it's starting to become antiquated. This new program, 17 Hats, lots of promise. That is one of the best CRM systems on the market right now for photographers. So check it out. I think that's going to help you keep track of everything you're doing, and I think it's going to help you stay organized. We need process. We need procedure. We need to stay organized so we don't forget client holidays, anniversaries, contracts, money owed, all the things that go into running a business. This program is going to give you, I think, what you need. I think you'll enjoy it. So great questions, as always, everyone. We'll see you next month. Hope you enjoyed it. Put this stuff into practice now. Get out there. Start making more money. I got nothing but love for you.